container, right? But the ground level of the container is not even. So some of the level is like this. Some of the container is a bit lower. Some of the level is the lowest. Another is like this, and that. So water filling algorithm, from the name itself, it implies that you are actually trying to fill in this container with the water. Okay, the water. So if you have water that are more than enough to fill in this, then everything will be filling, right? Suppose that this is your water level. So this water level represents the power that you have to allocate across these eigen channels. Okay, and then this level is actually what we refer to as the, not the signal to noise ratio, but the noise to the eigen, the strength of the eigen channels ratio. So the weaker this quantity is, means we have a weaker channel, right? So bigger means small number. The level is huge because it's inversely proportional to that strength. So this particular level represents weak channel. The one with the lower ground level, that represents a strong channel. The difference from the water level to the level of each segmented ground here is the allocated power. Which makes sense, right? Because we are trying to allocate more power to the stronger channel and allocate less power to the weaker channel. Just want to maximize the information to be transmitted from one channel. If you are trying to reduce this, then obviously, like the smart way to fill in this container is by focusing on the stronger channel first, right? Because with the stronger channel, you can maximize more information to be transmitted. If you are transmitted over here, then more likely you will encounter fading. Fading will delete probably majority of the information.
Stronger channels mean the eigenvalue is the highest.
Yes. Yes. The eigenvalue is this lambda. Lambda. So this lambda here is like fading, right? In a way, like attenuations, or depending on the value of lambda. You can strengthen the channel, you can weaken the channel. Okay, this principle is not only applied here. Here is more about MIMO, right? MIMO means space, means spatial dimension, spatial dimensions. This principle also works for WFDM. So when you have multiple subcarriers will have different response, channel response. So you can also do water filling across the subcarriers. So as long as you have like a parallel kind of representations, each with random different sort of strength, then you can apply water filling in the context. Okay, so this threshold will determine the water level. Sometimes you may have this, another time you may only have this, or might have this, depending on the amount available the transmitter to work in. Okay, so each singular value lambda I correspond to the eigenmode of the channel, or we can call it as an eigen channel. Non-zero eigen channel can support data stream, so it's good for transmission. So if you have the maximum number possible of eigen channels, then you can maximize the transmission. So in this case, we say that the MIMO channel can support spatial multiplexing of multiple data streams. And then the multiplexing capability of the channel is given by the number of non-zero eigenvalues or non-zero lambda I. Okay? So as long as you have lambda I greater than 0, then you can transmit some useful information symbols. If lambda is 0, then that channel is useless. Okay? So when performing this autofilling, the moment you have lambda I equal to 0, then you remove it from considerations because you do not want to allocate any power to lambda I equal to 0 because you will not get any removal. Okay, suppose that K is the number of non-zero eigenchannels, then K is exactly given by the rank of the matrix H. So the rank is the number of independent rows that can be extracted from the given. So when SNR is very high, so this means that this level is very high. So the power allocations will look identical, right? Not exactly the same, but looks identical. Because the power is so high, so you measure the difference between this and that will be very small. So in this case, we say that the equal power allocations across eigenchannels is asymptotically optimal. And in that particular scenario, we can approximate that channel capacity with this. So basically we remove 1 because 1 will contribute little compared to a very high level of power. So if we remove 1, we have log 2, so log 2 P over NL is SNR. And then we have sum from 1 to K, so we simply multiply that with K, so K log SNR. And the rest is the summations that depends on the eigenchannels of the matrix. So this parameter K is the spatial degrees of freedom. The dimensions is per second per hertz. And this represents the dimensions of received signals space without noise. Okay. So, in summary, the number of the spatial degrees of freedom per second per hertz is given by the rank of H. Okay, and then we can try to identify what happens if we have high power and what happens if we have low power. So at high power, we can apply what we call as a Jensen inequality. Anyone know the Jensen inequality? It's actually very useful inequality, especially if you play around with expectations. So Jensen inequality, depending on the convexity of the functions. So if we have concave function, so a function that behaves this way, the expectations of fx is related to the functions of the expectation of x. Should it be equally less than or greater than? Okay, this is average, right? So the easiest way to evaluate this is taking 2 points. So the middle point is the average, is the expectation of x. So it's like this, and the middle point here is the expectations of x, like the average of these functions. So that means that for concave functions, the expectations of fx is greater than the functions of the expectation of x. if the functions behave this way, then the inequality sign will flip. So we have expectations of fx is less than f of the expectation. So this is a very famous inequality, especially if we have to deal with the quantity that involve expectations of a function, of a random variable. So here we have, like, we divide C by 1 over k, so we have like an average, right? In a way, like we have an expectations of log 2 functions, right? So we have like an expectation of log 2 of x, like I call it as x. You see, this is a sum from 1 to k divided by k. So in a way, it's like an average, like an expectation. So we have the expectations, we have the functions of x, which is given by the log 2 1 plus x. Then and we know that log 2 functions behave this way, it's a concave function. Then we know that the expectations of fx is greater than the functions of the expectations. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Start losing a focus. Okay. Yeah, I have to repeat this. Okay. Okay, expectations of fx. So we have this expectation of fx like an average of that function. So in a way, like taking the middle point of this function, right? So which is given by this. Oh no, sorry. Fx is given by this, right? So you are taking 2 points there, and taking the average of these two, of the value of these 2 points, which means this. Let's put it in a red color to make it easier. So this expectation of fx is like an average of these 2 values of fx. The functions of expectation of x, this means that we have to take first the average of x, so x is this, x there and x there, so the average is around here. So the functions of the expectation of x is this quantity, right? So obviously this quantity is okay, so with that, if you apply, we have an expectation of fx is less than the f of the expectation. So the function is log 2, and the expectation of that is expectation of 1 plus x. So we simply move the average from outside the functions to inside. So we move the average from this to here. So how can we conclude from here? So at high SNR, we can move again k from 1 over c to that k. So we can then define that what we call as the condition number of h as the ratio between the maximum eigenvalue and the minimum eigenvalue. So we can say from this inequality that this inequality becomes equality whenever all lambda I are equal. Okay. So among all possible general matrix with the same total value gain, the one that maximizes the capacity is the one with equal single value, because it is equal to the quantity that upper bound itself with the exact equality. So sometimes if you came across like a problem having to prove whether this is optimal or not, you can use this inequality. You can identify the conditions that they are equal under certain conditions, then that conditions must be optimal.
If the lambda is it possible if the lambda is not equal?
Yeah, it's possible.
So how will the condition
Okay, so if lambda are not equal, then the condition is strictly unequal. So the capacity is this, and this is simply an upper bound of the capacity. So you're only using this as your fundamental. So what we are trying to argue here is that at the highest NR, if your lambda are approximately equal, then basically that's the conditions when the channel capacity is still maximum.
I'm still confused about the water filling. Are we using in that equations water filling algorithm or no?
Okay.
Or just put it and
I think it follows